Good afternoon, everyone. The Sacramento City Council will please come to order. Would the clerk please call the roll to establish a quorum?
Thank you. Councilmember Loloe?
Here.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Here.
Councilmember Maple?
Here.
Vice Mayor Gatta?
Here.
Councilmember Jennings?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bang?
I'm here.
Councilmember Kaplan?
Here.
I expect Councilmember Talamantes momentarily, and Mayor Steinberg.
I am here. Councilmember Maple, would you please lead us in the land acknowledgement and the Pledge of Allegiance?
My pleasure. Please stand if you are able. Please rise for the opening acknowledgments in honor of Sacramento's indigenous people and tribal lands. To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley and Plains Miwok, Potwin Wintun peoples, and the people of the Wilton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on these ancestral lands by choosing to gather today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous people's history, contributions, and lives. Thank you. Now salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good afternoon again, everyone. Let me begin as the presiding officer to apologize to members of the public for being late. We had a lengthy closed session. Madam City Attorney, is there anything to report out of the closed session?
There's nothing to report on.
Okay. So thank you, even though it was a lengthy discussion. So we are here. I welcome members of the public, the city staff, and of course, my colleagues. We begin tonight with two special presentations. I'd like to turn it over to Vice Mayor Gatta for recognizing Clean Air Day here in Sacramento.
Great, thank you, Mr. City Manager, and I'll ask our both our city team and our Air District team to please come on up to the podium here. Tomorrow, every day, we recognize California Clean Air Day. Very proud that our team that has not only worked with other state officials, but our local partners to make sure that we're doing everything we can to ensure the public health, good lung growth for our kids, and doing and other issues to address what we used to have. And for those of us that remember before, when we used to do all the wood burning, the cloudiness in the fall, the smog in the summer. For those who grew up in LA, remember they actually had smog days where we shut the schools down. We've actually done an amazing amount of work. And this council, over the last number of years, has appropriated money specifically for that. California Clean Air Day is a partnership with not only our local businesses, Caltrans, our local nonprofits, and a number of our city teams here. And here to talk a little bit about where we are at California Day is Janice from our Air District. Welcome, Janice. And Janice, is this 15 years with the Air District?
18.
18 years with the Air District. Let's give a big round of applause for 18 years with the Air District.
Well, thank you, Vice Mayor Guerra, Mayor Steinberg, members of the council. As Mayor Guerra introduced, my name is Janice Slam-Snyder, and I am a program manager at the Sacramento Air District. I'm also the project manager for this particular partnership with the city. So before I start, I just want to thank the city for this opportunity to partner together, to expand our network of air quality information, to fill in some data gaps, and to bring awareness about the impact of air pollution to our communities. And before I start, I would really also like to recognize my colleague, Sarah Farsa, who was brought on as a student fellow for this project. She was a UC Davis graduate student to help us implement this project, and she has since graduated, and I'm happy to share that she's graduated with a Master's of Environmental Policy and Management and is now working at the Air District as an air quality planner. And so she's been super instrumental in the implementation of this project, and we're really lucky to have met her through this project. So the project consists of 3 components.
And as that's going up, the council may recall that we appropriated $500,000 for this joint initiative.
Fantastic. Go, go.
There you go. There's three components to this particular project. The first was to distribute 200 portable sensors in the city of Sacramento in our high-need areas. To solicit residents to participate, we developed multilingual flyers to broadly distribute with our networks. We worked with city staff to attend events. We went to neighborhood association meetings to widely spread this opportunity. The majority of the sensors did go to residents, but we also engaged school districts and then 18 schools, and then we had 14 businesses, and a handful of them went to city facilities. What you could see here on the slide on the left is actually a map of the entire coverage, including the 200 portable sensors that were distributed by this project, as well as privately owned sensors as well. So if you look at the map, it has a pretty good coverage within the city. The second is a deployment of a van that was equipped with some sophisticated monitoring analyzers to collect street-level air pollution data. On the next slide, I'll show the routes that we've taken for street level, and we also have a quick 1-minute video to show the van in action. The third component of the project is an education component to develop an education curriculum for students to educate them on air pollution, air quality, and we're in the beginning stages of exploring a partnership with the Sacramento Academic and Vocational Academy Charter School. We actually have here the executive director of educational program, Maury Elliott. And if you have any questions later, we believe that this is a really good way to build awareness with the youth about air pollution and its impacts. So this slide here shows the two areas in Sacramento that we had the street level monitoring. One was in North Sacramento, in the north of Sacramento, and one in the South Sacramento communities. You could also see that there's areas that might be adjacent to some of the high need areas, and that's also to ensure that we have an understanding of what the differences might be. With that, I have a quick 1-minute video, if the clerk can play that, to show the van in action.
Okay. Let's hear a couple of the members. I know Councilmember Maple and, I'm sorry, minute video, apologies.
More slides. Oh, great, thank you. Just a couple of more slides to wrap it up. Is it showing? Oh, okay. So we did want to also share that I think we can all agree that air monitoring data is not the end. It's not a destination, and so that still leaves the question, where do we go from here? What do we do with the information? And part of this data is for jurisdictions to be informed about the conditions and to improve land use decisions. Some of the things that we're working on at the Air District is that we're also working with a community in South Sacramento in the development of emission reduction strategies. And we're also looking to update our existing programs to reduce emissions in communities that are experiencing environmental injustice. And that can look like enhanced enforcement, zero emission infrastructure, and promoting and transitioning to a cleaner technology. Last and not least, the district is working on also updating at more effective ways to tackle air pollution. And a lot of that depends on our partnership with jurisdictions, local jurisdictions, and then looking at building towards a sustainable future with clean energy workforce development, educating our youth, exposure mitigations, and also looking at new funding opportunities, such as our supplemental environmental program, where we can fund projects in communities using penalty fees collected. So I'm just going to quickly highlight 2 examples of the projects that we're actively engaging in. One on the left is a zero-emission mobility hub located in Del Paso Heights. This is part of a bigger strategy in partnership with SACOG, SMUD, SAC-RT to transition the region to a zero-emission transportation. And one pillar of this plan was to address mobility for residents, with an emphasis of those living in under-resourced communities. This is going to be the first of 52 in the region, and the hub includes our community car share vehicles, electric vehicles, and publicly accessible charging stations. And we do have our grand opening on October 11th, so we invite you all to come and join us. And then the second project that I'm going to share is looking, again, towards a clean, sustainable future. And it's a combination of our clean energy workforce, educating our future technicians, designer, policymakers about the zero emission transition. And we know that electrification is happening in every application, and even a lowrider can also be made electric. So we're hoping to complete the EV lowrider by the end of this year. This is also a partnership with SAVA, and as I shared in the first slide, we're also hoping to explore a general air quality curriculum with them as part of the city project. With that, I'm going to thank you for the opportunity to come tonight to provide you with an update. Happy to answer any questions, and I think I'm going to pass it over to city staff to have one more example.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have Rachel Patton from the Division of Public Works here to talk about a great partnership here. And that's a 1964 cherry red Chevy Impala Super Sport that's being electrified by our teenage youth.
Convertible. Go ahead.
Convertible.
Thank you for the introduction, Councilmember Guerra. Rachel Patton, I'm a sustainability analyst for the Department of Public Works, and I'm here to talk a little bit about our EV Blueprint project. That is a project where we are deploying electric vehicle charging, electric vehicle car share, and e-trike lending. And I have one of our e-trikes here today, and I'm really excited about this. It's been the first component of the EV Blueprint project we've been able to deploy so far. We have 5 e-trikes that are available at the Colonial Heights Library for patrons to check out. They're part of the Lucky Day collection, so if you show up and they're available, it's your lucky day. Yeah, they've been active at the library for a couple months now, and it's been an extremely successful program that's hopefully making transportation and sustainable transportation more accessible for Sacramentans.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll keep my comments brief, but I'm a proud member, board director of Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality District. I see that we have Dr. Ayala also in the audience. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Vice Mayor Guerra, for highlighting this really important day, Clean Air Day, that happened over the weekend. I represent several communities that are on this map. I live in one that has a lot of these air monitors in it, in Oak Park, and this is a huge problem in Sacramento, and we can only really fix problems that we have the data for, right? If you don't know your problem, it's hard to solve for it. So I think the data is a really important component, and making sure that we have these air monitors deployed in the right places is step one. And then I also just really wanted to shout out the Lowrider program on Franklin Boulevard. I think that's just an amazing way to get people excited and to show what's possible when we think about EVs and our future. So thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, I should have hit my button quicker than Councilwoman Maple. I was just going to say the same thing as well, but wanted just to thank Vice Mayor Guerra for bringing this item to council, and also just want to thank him for his service on the California Air Resources Board as well. I know that's a state board, and so it's really great that we have representation from here in our city. And also want to give a shout out to Dr. Ayala, Janice, Rachel, and Jennifer, just really all of the staff from the Air District and our city staff that's working really hard to actually implement multiple programs to really monitor our air. I too also represent communities that have really bad air quality. One of 17 AB 617 communities in particular, and I know that many members in our South Sacramento have worked really hard to develop a community air monitoring plan, and I know we're working hard with the state to push to see if we can get funding to have a community emission reduction plan. And so I know that advocacy continues, but the data piece is so important. We can double down on our strategies to plant more trees, take RT, bike, walk, move forward a little bit quicker on indoor electrification, EV cars, but having this data is so important so that residents can make healthier choices right now. And so just really want to thank you, Vice Mayor, and all the incredible staff that has worked really hard to make sure that we can reduce our carbon emission. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, go ahead.
Here's real quick, and then I'll have you.
Yeah, I was just going to thank you because part of your climate commission led to a lot of the conversation in this and a lot of the efforts that we're doing. And so tomorrow is Clean Air Day. So if you have your library card, I've got my little library card that you put on your keychain. You can check out an electric trike at the Colonial Heights Library. You can, tomorrow if you can telecommute. You could carpool. You could ride your bike. My kids and I, we did the cargo bike this morning to drop off. But do what you can tomorrow. Tomorrow's Clean Air Day. Everybody can do their part to improve our local air. And with that, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And when we're ready, I'd like to bring all the partners involved in California Clean Air Day, which are our educators, our scientists, our public works folks, our librarians, to participate in a quick presentation of the
quick
resolution.
photo. Just if I may, real quick. First of all, to thank you and Councilmember Maple and Mayor Pro Tem for your comments and leadership in bringing this forward. We need to translate this into more investments for clean air in Sacramento. There's a lot of state money, a lot of federal money. We often lack sufficient local match. And so want to engage this council on this dais and then eventually the community and the voters in answering the question, are we willing to invest more in our climate future to improve air quality? And this is a great example of what's possible if we make the right investment. So I do have one question. And maybe you answered it, and I might have missed it, so excuse me if you already have. But the portable sensors, fascinating. It's kind of, I don't know, I keep thinking about AI or something. I don't know what it is. But it's, can you just give a couple examples of the practical use of some of this data that is being collected neighborhood by neighborhood? Will it allow us, for example, to prioritize our investments? I mean, for example, we're developing a racial equity tool under our so-called SCORE initiative as part of a city commitment to evaluate the impact on race and equity of all major decisions that we make. Is there data here that can actually prioritize investments based on neighborhood?
Yeah, definitely. There's two components. So one was the portable sensors, and these actually give real-time information. So for example, if there's a smoke event for wildfires, you're able to, have residents be able to, use this information to inform their daily activities. In terms of prioritizing the investments, I think with the street level monitoring, you're going to be able to tell whether or not there are areas that may need more investments than others. And so definitely, I think that there's some opportunities there.
Okay, thank you. Hey, come on up, let's get a picture and give him a round of applause. Walk up here, not drive up here. Thank you. Okay.
I don't want to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We now move to the second presentation, recognizing National Black Brewers Day, presented by our colleague, Councilmember Rick Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me get this microphone on. This is National Black Brewers Day, and I'd like those who are going to be the recipient of this resolution, I'd like for them to come up and surround the podium, if you will. As they come, I'd like to give you a little history in that there are significant events in life that you remember like it was yesterday. I'm going to tell you one that happened to me about 2 years ago. I was at Underground Bookstore doing what I do, buying books from Mother Rose, when I witnessed a huge crowd at the Oak Park Brewery. Curious, I looked out to find out what was going on. And there were panels of brewers that included black people who made beer. There was a sign saying the first annual People's Harvest Times Jubilee, lifting voices and raising glasses. A sign also said, brew your story. My first thoughts upon seeing this was, number one, I didn't know black people brewed beer. Had no clue. But I certainly agreed that there was a lot of room to brew your own story. During that time, the crowd introduced me to the family of Ted Mack, who was the first black brewery president in the United States, and his People's Brewing Company became the first black brewery. Mr. Mack was a great civil rights giant, and his son recently published a book that brewed his father's story. The craft beer industry has experienced remarkable growth and innovations, and black brewers have emerged as talented artisans like those I saw that day at the Oak Park Brewery. Still, less than 1% of craft breweries are black. To help promote and support and grow black entrepreneurship and ownership and foster a spirit of inclusion and equity, the National Black Brewers Association was formed last year, and I'm proud to say, right here in the city of Sacramento. Mayor, this is right in alignment with inclusive economic development, and we still have a number of brewers here in the city of Sacramento. So I am pleased that Sacramento will join the state of California and other cities across the country to proclaim October 10th and every year thereafter as National Black Brewers Day to support local and black-owned brewers to continue to brew their stories, grow their businesses, and help lift up their communities. So please, as I call their names out, give them a big round of applause. Lori Ajax, Executive Director, California Craft Brewers Association. Come on up here. Rob Archie, owner of Urban Roots Brewing right here in Sacramento. Marcus Baskerville, co-owner of Weathered Soul Brewing Company in San Antonio, Texas. Co-owner of Hella Coastal Brewing. Brittany Claypool, brand strategist, Oakland Brewery, Sacramento. Adrian Hall, COO of St. Hope. Bia Hoskins, Drake's the Barn, right here in Sacramento. Raj Little, co-owner of Oak Park Brewery. You know that's here in Sacramento. Daryl Neal, Beer Talk, now podcast. Richmond, California. Ben Rice, Marley and Me podcast, right here in Sacramento. Becca and Scott and Jeff Scott, co-owners of Oak Park Brewery. And Joe White, Humble Sea Brewing in Santa Cruz.
Hey, Rick.
Yes.
Alex Horn.
Did I forget you?
Alex Horn.
Come on, Alex on.
Alex Warren, come on up, Alex.
Come on, since I messed up, you got to give Alex another round of applause.
Come on, let's guys Congratulations, yes.
Get together like you like each other.
Get comfy.
Squeeze in just a little bit more. You guys could come in just a little bit. Remember, like youth sports. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right,
Ready to
now.
go?
Hold on. You hold this. You'll take a picture just with them by themselves.
Okay.
Let me get out, because I don't brew yet.
Yeah.
So everybody who's a brewer. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Hey.
I'm
sorry,
are there
Mr.
any
Mayor?
samples to be delivered
That's
here?
what I was going to ask. Where's the beer? Where's the beer?
Yeah, there's some policy.
And Mario.
Share a few words, please.
First off, my name's Roger Little, co-owner of Oak Park Brewing Company. This is an honor. Thank you guys for making this happen. This is a passion project. This is something that I fell in love with because of this guy, Mr. Rob Archie. He introduced me to the Belgian-style beers, and I was always looking for flavor. And he definitely tossed it my way, and I ran with it. For us to be here today, it's been a journey. We're super stoked to have launched the National Black Brewers Association in Nashville, Tennessee, May of this year. So we got a lot of work to do. I would love for you to say a couple words, and Mario, and just share you guys a story.
Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it. I just want to say I'm inspired every day. Growing up, I grew up in Woodland, and as a little black boy there, I just want everybody to know you could participate in society in any way you see fit.
Thanks, everyone. I have to say that considering, like Raj has said, this became a passion project, a hobby, not too long ago between me and my business partner, Chaz Hubbard. Knowing that we're the only black brewery in Oakland, I think we're giving some inspiration to our kids to realize that if you're really passionate about something, then you can go for it. And considering that they're very young, we want them to have that entrepreneurial spirit and succeed and grow to something of their own. And if we can have that platform for them, then that's this. And having something like this happen today, with all the breweries that came before us, knowing that we just, this is small kit on in the backyard that we're just making some semi-okay beer, to now dialing it in and getting the experience from all the brewers that came before us, especially when they look like us, then that's just an inspiration to make us work harder and make sure that we succeed. So really appreciate this.
First, I just want to congratulate you and want to thank Councilmember Jennings for bringing this forward. And I'd just be remiss if I didn't bring up the extraordinary talent that comes out of Oak Park. It's just amazing, not just from the brewery perspective, but also our art, music, everything. So just really a lot of love for Oak Park in this room. And really want to acknowledge that Oak Park Brewery does not just really great beer, really great food. I spend a lot of time there. It's my neighborhood restaurant and bar, but also a lot for the music scene as well. And so I just want to highlight, Mayor, in your one of your State of the Cities, when you talked about having venues for local music and places for people to go, this is one of those places in the city where small music artists go and get their start. And so just want to thank you for your work on that, and looking forward to getting them up and running on that. Thank you.
Another proud example of how the city is changing, and changing in good ways. You know, I say this a lot, and you may hear me say it a lot the next 14 months. We spend a lot of time focusing on our challenges. We work most of the time on trying to alleviate our challenges. This presentation is really important because it highlights that the city is changing in very, very positive ways, that inclusive economic development is part of our core mission in this city. And yes, it may sometimes seem uneven, but really the trajectory is only one way. We're growing diverse industries. The fact that a group of Black business leaders leading the state and the nation when it comes to brewing. Most people like to drink beer. And the combination of beer and music together, you're enlivening our city. And I really appreciate it because I want people to not ignore the negative and the tough stuff, but I want us to tell these stories more in our city, because this is what's really happening on the ground. More people choosing to invest here, more people choosing to move here, a city that is growing. I'm really proud of what you've done and where you're going to go. Thank you. Councilmember.
I just want to close because I was at the state when we got the state resolution, and wanted to make sure that the city had an opportunity to participate in this as well, because this is a historical moment, and you should all be proud of yourselves in the work that you've done in order to get to this point in time in life. And I know we're all proud of you. And the sample concept that we were talking about, the question on the samples, we're going to come and sample every October the 10th in order to recognize National Black Brewers Day. And also during the year as well, we're going to come and support your businesses. And so we just want to let you know we appreciate you, love you. Thank you for everything you've done to get us to this point. You're history makers, you're change agents, you're the people who are making a difference and setting the tone for those who come after us. So congratulations today.
All right. Let us move now to the stuff that isn't as fun, the business of the City Council, and move to the consent calendar. I know, Madam Clerk, you have something you need to read into the record, and then I'll ask members if they want to hear any items separately or vote or comment on any items on the consent calendar.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. On item number 22, I just want to read into the record that Tanisha Hubbard cannot accept the nomination to the Disability Advisory Commission, so we are going to remove that name from the nomination motion.
Okay. So, members, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, glad to move the consent calendar, but I wanted to speak on item 18 and 19, when appropriate after public comment.
Okay, consent calendar has been moved and seconded. Councilmember Kaplan, what items?
I'd like to speak briefly, items 3, 6, and 19. Register a no vote on item 17 and register an abstain vote on item 21.
Okay. Very good. I'm sorry, Councilmember Talamantes.
I need to continue item number 5, reversion of the McClellan Dock property to federal ownership.
All right.
I'd like to make a friendly movement or motion.
All the balance of the balance with the exception of item 5.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So the motion is, and Councilmember Lowly, you'll second that friendly amendment. Okay. Very good. So now let's go through. I'm going to go in chronological order here. We're starting with Councilmember Kaplan. Items 3 and 6. What are your comments, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to call out, it's a little esoteric, but D1 loves themselves some lumps, and these are lumps that are going to be approved throughout the city of Sacramento, Fort 12, which are going to be in D1, many adjacent to parks and schools, and lumps are a little different than speed humps. They got a platform you got to go over and slow down, and that is been shown as a great way for drivers to slow down, especially near our schools, and increase pedestrian safety. Just would like to make a friendly request, because I know community members have petitioned for them, that staff follow up with individuals who did submit an initial petition to the city, and either let them know it's on their way or please apply again next year for the next process. So, and then what potentially the construction timeline is for those approvals. But thank you for staff of all that hard work. My D1 area around a specific community really appreciates it, because we have some vehicles that need to slow down near some of our schools. And then item 6, which is the panhandle. It is just regular, I just want the community to know, regular construction documents, nothing unique that is being approved for this for the infrastructure and the public facilities for the panhandle and its development into residential areas.
All right. Item 6? That was 6. 3 and 6. So you did those together. Okay. Vice Mayor Guerra on item 18, please.
I just wanted to thank our city staff for working with so many community partners on the innovation grant funds. I mean, there's so many organizations. What goes to show when we're able to use a little bit of startup funds to help innovation create. I mean, a lot of them, I think, are going to be the type of folks that are going to find those solutions for clean air, for technology in the future. And I wanted to recognize Atrium 916, and also I saw the Sac Black Chamber of Commerce as well, and some of the innovative funds that are being awarded. But with that, I wanted to just, again, thank our staff for, it's a tough choice. There's a lot of awardees here, but all of this is the innovation that's coming out of Sacramento.
Thank you. Item 19, you want to comment on, Vice Mayor Guerra?
Yes, again, and I just wanted to, again, thank St. John's and Weave for their work. This is a continuation of the support that we've been doing for over, I guess, now 8 years. Some of this started well before the pandemic. The pandemic obviously allowed us some resources to continue that, and now with our state access to some of these funds, they are really creating an opportunity for many women with children who found themselves in domestic violence situations, in situations where with housing instability, many of them may have faced personal challenges with mental health or substance abuse, but all of that, these organizations are building people and families up again. So I just wanted to thank again St. John's and Weave for their hard work, and also for the city staff to making sure that that as we move forward, we're not breaking through, we're ensuring that we're providing the financial services for those individuals to continue forward. So that many thanks to everyone involved in it. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan on comment on item 19.
And I just want to piggyback what Vice Mayor Guerra said. You know, St. John's and Weave really reach out and help a lot of our disenfranchised women and children who've been experiencing violence and trauma. Specifically, they've served over 430 women and children. St. John's served a total of 281 people experiencing homelessness, including 127 children. 70% of the participants who exited the program were able to find positive destinations, including both permanent and positive temporary housing, moving into permanent housing. And Weave has served a total of 112 individuals, including 61 children, with 63% of the participants that exited the program were able to find positive, stable destinations. It's those kind of statistics I don't think we take the time to step back and just give us a pause and say we're making a difference in some young children's and family members' lives that have experienced violence, and making that difference. It's not a big dent, but every dent and every child we can help, and every woman who's experienced this violence is something I think to be celebrated. So I just wanted to call that out and thank staff for all that they do.
All right, thank you. That concludes the council comments. Let's take public testimony on the consent calendar, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 8 speakers. The first is MVW and O on item 13. And following that is Brandon Robinson on item 18.
Last Tuesday, you held a meeting that barely any constituents attended. Some takeaways are that while walking in, there was over 20 SAC PD officers outside because men in black with guns on their hips says welcome. Not one constituent in the room besides myself was black. That felt a little odd. There was exactly 11 constituents besides the room filled with city staff. That doesn't seem like a community engagement to me. Why was such an important meeting about such an important topic held at 1 p.m.? The mayor stated in the meeting, and I quote, "Values-based and conscious voting was what the city council practices."
Excuse me, item 13 is suspend competitive bidding and authorize on-call request for qualifications for the Sacramento Police Department's tow rotational agreement.
Please get to it.
So if it's on that topic, please proceed.
You interrupted my time. I'm setting a scene here.
Please proceed.
That's what writing is. We have yet to see this as a community. There was no sign-in sheet or community engagement of any sort. So since you guys didn't do it, we did it for you. We have a list of community demands that we say every week. So number 1, we demand a moratorium on all military equipment purchases. Number 2, we demand city council approve all SCPRC recommendations on military equipment use. We demand a data transparency ordinance for Sacramento City, which other cities have already done.
Again, the agenda item is
demand an
suspend
end to SAC
competitive
PD's
bidding and
use of
authorize
pretextual
on-call
traffic
request
stops.
for the tow agreement.
We demand an end to SAC PD's use of unmarked cars and plainclothes police officers. We demand SAC PD dissolve its gang enforcement and probably-oriented policing teams. We demand an end to SAC PD answering all mental health calls. And lastly, we demand that you stop all sweeps, including sweeps of
Mayor, this item is not, this speaker is not speaking on the agenda item at hand.
Your-
Our next
your
speaker
time is up.
is
Next
O.
speaker, next speaker,
Please
next
take your
speaker.
seat. Our next speaker is O, and let me remind you, item 13 is suspend competitive bidding and authorize on-call request for qualifications for the Sacramento Police Department's tow rotational agreement. So please proceed if it's
And if
regards
you
to that
actually would
agenda item.
listen, you would understand that we're getting to that, but. Accountability consists of 4 core components: participation, evaluation, transparency, and feedback mechanisms. This means accountability is achieved when goals exist, ownership is delegated, transparent evaluation occurs, complete transparency ensues, and regular feedback exists. Unfortunately, there is no accountability here. This city council is the same city council that had no problem with pinning disabled folks against unhoused folks for your own agenda to pass the sidewalk ordinance. But yet, if you cared about disability rights, we wouldn't hold a city priority setting meeting last week that wasn't live streamed, had no call-in option.
So, Mayor, the
Mind
agenda
you, it was
item
the
at
first
hand.
time since 2018 a city hall meeting wasn't accessible for folks to watch at home.
Mayor, the agenda item is item 13.
You're out of order.
Suspend
You're out of
competitive bidding
order.
and authorize an
You're out of
on-call
order.
request for
You're out of order.
qualification for the Sacramento Police Department's tow rotational agreement. If you want to speak on that agenda item, please proceed. Otherwise, take your seat.
Crazy is you'll find the same ones on Roseville Road, towed people's homes, and are now placed there as anti-homeless infrastructure because, God forbid, rich white people have to see struggling poor people while they golf. What I want to highlight is that they use a reference from 2001, when we all know the truth is that those barriers are being placed around this city to keep unhoused folks from camping there. I can guarantee almost every single one of you can name an intersection or a road in your district that needs barriers, such as Garden Highway, where people have died because there are none. It's also been weeks. It's been weeks, and Howard Chan has yet to discuss potential safe ground shelter sites. And the seasons are changing, and we all know what's ahead of us: freezing weather, rain, and storms. We have 20,000 people living outside, and y'all are more concerned. You're more concerned about making it cheaper for you and SAC PD to steal unhoused people's homes and criminalize black and brown people. I find it really interesting that the DA, the same DA that's suing y'all to
Comments, your time is complete. Please take your seat. Your
Please,
time is complete.
please take-
My next
please
speaker
take
is
your seat.
Brandon Robinson. Please take your seat.
Your time is up.
Please take your seat. Brandon Robinson on item 18. Brandon Robinson, then Joseph Back.
Hi. Never a dull moment up here. My name is Brandon Robinson. I'm the founder of Tipsy Putt. We have a location here in downtown Sacramento. Many familiar faces up here. Many familiar faces around. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Innovation and Event Grant. I want to say thank you to the City Council for putting this together. I'm a member of the Sacramento Angels. I'm also a limited partner in the Growth Factory out of Placer County. And when I came across the grant, I immediately reached out to several individuals in Sacramento because I wanted to bring it into the city of Sacramento. A lot of the investments I've made in the past and all small businesses in the community have been in Placer County, so we're very thankful to bring it into Sacramento. So we are having an event at Tipsy Putt, which is called a pitch and putt, where we're going to have businesses pitch their ideas basically to investors, all businesses here in the local Sacramento community. We're very excited about it. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I just want to say thank you guys all for the Innovation Grant. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Joseph Back. Following Joseph is Joshua Manley.
Good evening, esteemed members of Sacramento City Council and fellow attendees. My name is Joseph H. Beck, the founder and CEO of Techtify, and formerly known as Empower2. Our core mission at Techtify is to democratize emerging tech. In an era of rapid technological advancements where generative AI, no-code tools, and the metaverse are shaping the way we live and work, we aim to turn everyday tech consumers into tech innovators. We're not just introducing them to tools, we're revealing the immense power within them to transform, to create, and to lead. Yet, our mission goes deeper than just tech proficiency. It's about equal access. Many underserved communities here in Sacramento have students who view the world of tech as distant, almost out of reach. We're here to change that narrative. With technologies like generative AI taking center stage, the barrier to enter the tech world is lowered. It's no longer just for those who can code, it's for anyone with an idea and the will to bring it to life. Our programs don't merely introduce these tools, we dive into how individuals can supercharge their abilities, how they can harness these emerging tech wonders to amplify productivity, identify opportunities, and most importantly, navigate them in safe and ethical ways. Every student, every individual deserves a seat at this ever-evolving tech table. To say we are grateful for being selected for the Sacramento Innovations Grant would be an understatement. This grant represents a collective vision, a future where young minds are not just prepared, but excited for the future. I sincerely hope the Council will support this mission, for in supporting us, you're supporting a future of innovation and inclusivity for Sacramento. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Joshua Manley, then Charlotte Danielson and Harry Change, and Shira Lane, also on item 18.
Please.
All set? Good evening, members of council and attendees. I'm Josh Manley, founder and CEO of cadclass.org, a worldwide platform for teaching 3D modeling and 3D printing. I want to express my enthusiastic support and gratitude for agenda item number 18, providing funding for technological programs and initiatives here in Sacramento. Many problems mentioned tonight, such as air quality, electrification, and environmental issues, require designers to model and build real solutions to very real problems. I'm proud to help lay the foundation for our future builders, engineers, and product developers, and I want to thank you again for your support.
Thank you for your comment. Charlotte Danielson and Henry Chang, and then Shirlene.
All right, good evening, council members. I'm Henry Chang, and this is Charlotte Danielson. We're with Human Bulb.
Just wanted to come by and say thank you so much for the work that you're doing in the innovation space. And as grant, we are both an event grant recipient and an ecosystem grant recipient. Our event grant is for Startup World Cup Sacramento Regional, which is bringing a global competition with over 70 regional locations throughout the world. We are bringing basically international recognition to Sacramento's tech ecosystem with that. Our ecosystem grant is for Sacramento for a smarter, greener future. It's a 10-week accelerator program focused on mobility, clean economy, agriculture, food and beverage manufacturing. And what really makes it unique is that we aim to have at least, as a minimum, 50% of the participants in this program be BIPOC, women, and or LGBTQ members. The way we are doing that is to have pre-accelerator equity boot camps as part of this program, reaching out to working with community partners to really have it be a grassroots event and fill any knowledge gaps and really get out there in the community as part of that. And we want to really say thank you for this city's unique commitment to innovation and moving forward.
Just said my part.
No.
Oh, well, thank you for your commitment and your increased innovation and entrepreneurship in our region, and your dedication to equity and inclusive economic development.
Thank you all.
On item 18.
Sure.
Following Shira is Charles Faust on 19 and Jade Nicola.
Hi, my name is Shira Lane. I'm with Atrium 916. I am here to say thank you to you, Mayor and Council, for trusting the Atrium, and I'm thanking you for our creatives. We are a Creative Innovation Center for Sustainability, and we support our local creatives. We support about 70% of our creatives are women, and about 40% of them come from underserved communities. I'd like to give an example of what they make. This is a bag made completely out of upcycled inner tube tires. It looks like leather, lined and beautiful. This is what our local creatives are making. And with your grant, we're going to help them build micro manufacturing businesses. We all started just from a grant during COVID with an idea of just to get as many creatives online as possible. And that actually grew. We have 120 creatives on our site. You can go to sacramento.shop. We're a little FU to Amazon. We will deliver in Sacramento County same day, and we're a circular economy marketplace, which means this is an extended producer responsibility marketplace. The producers have to bring back their containers back to the us, the consumers. And then the producers actually take back their empty containers when they drop off new product. This is showing an example actually as part of SB 54, which is now state legislation. And I am working on that group. So we are leading the path. And I just want to say thank you for all our creatives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shira.
Thank you for your comments. Charles Faust on item 19, and then Jade Nicola 19.
Hello. There are very few people that have studied your guys' homeless programs and funding as intensely as I have. St. John's is your best program, so I'm happy to see that you're funding it.
Thank you.
And Jade Nicola is our final speaker on item 19.
My
My name's Jade Nicole. I'm a CEO of a nonprofit called Help Fight Poverty, and I've been homeless for the last 13 years, or 13 months. The resources are not accessible in Sacramento. Women are being turned away. St. John's and Weave, they're the biggest madams in the city. You don't want to go into a program where you're stripped of your rights. St. John's, you have to quit their job and completely be dependent on their system. That doesn't support people that are independent and can think for themselves. Weave, I've been turned down from services from them. I was molested, raped, trafficked in the sex trade industry for 10 years, widowed in the pandemic. I had more rights as a hoe than I ever did in this business community. Mayor, I've been in suites with you. When I went into that suite with David Sobon for Lady Gaga, I was told I could not speak to you. Do you know what that does to women from my background? Women from my background, we deserve to have a seat at the table and to not be pimped by businesswomen that do not have our experiences. We have women sleeping in cars with children. A new system needs to be designed. St. John's and Weave, it's not cutting it. I can go to San Francisco and get immediate resources. You go to San Diego, if you're homeless, you're going to be locked up and jailed. What the fuck is going on in California? I was not protected when I was sleeping in my car, but when I slept in Gavin Newsom's neighborhood, I had the most privileged homeless experience in America, but it's selling out my women. What are you going to do to give us a seat at the table? Last night, we're staying in a hotel.
Thank you for your comments. Your
where
time
there's
is complete.
trafficking going on.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Mayor, I have
Do
no
I
more
get a
speakers
meeting?
on the
Daryl,
consent
do I have to
calendar.
sleep with the whole city to get it?
Mayor, I have no more speakers on the consent calendar.
All right, there is a motion and a second on the consent calendar. Let's note for the record, when the roll is called, assuming unanimously, that Councilmember Kaplan is going to be a no on item 17 and abstaining from item 21. All right, so all in...
Item 5 is continued.
And item 5 is continued. Thank you. Excuse me, please, you cannot speak out like that. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose, abstain. The consent calendar passes. We now move to the discussion calendar, item 23.
So item 23 is an ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 15.104 of the Sacramento City Code related to floodplain management.
Jade, you can't.
I know 2 men that you put in housing. Savante Clark, you put him in a house for an apartment for a year. Why are you giving resources to men and not women? What the fuck is wrong with you, Daryl?
So,
I have some help. I'm homeless.
yeah, so I'd be happy to have my chief of staff meet with you. We have your number. We'll call you tomorrow. Okay.
Jade Nicole, please do not disrupt the orderly conduct of the proceedings by continuing to speak out from the audience. You're now in violation of Chapter 5 of the City Council Rules of Procedure. If you continue, you'll be ordered to leave the meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Neil Joyce. I work for the Department of Utilities. I'm a supervising engineer over our Development Review and Floodplain Management section. And I'm here tonight to give a brief presentation on our proposed floodplain ordinance update and recommend your approval. So to start with just a little background, the city has the following goals and requirements related to floodplain management: to protect life and property from flooding, regulate development within floodplains in accordance with state and federal requirements, and maintain the city's eligibility under the National Flood Insurance Program. Additionally, we have the goal of maintaining eligibility in FEMA's Community Rating System program, also known as CRS, which allows for property owners discounts on flood insurance. And finally, we require new development located within a flood hazard area to be designed to minimize the risk of damage in the event of a flood. So, in order to meet these goals and address these requirements, the city has previously established our floodplain ordinance. Based on a recent community assistance contact from the State Department of Water Resources, input from FEMA, and our own use of the floodplain ordinance, we have determined that an update is needed, making minor additions and revisions. So to quickly go over those proposed additions, we're adding a definition for alteration of a watercourse and encroachment. We clarified that an accessory structure within the meaning of the regulations refers to a detached structure, and we updated references to FEMA bulletin numbers regarding floodproofing. Also, we specified information that must be based on civil engineer and land surveyor work, and hardened a requirement that accessory structures must not result in an increase in the base flood elevation by more than 1 foot, and removed the local administrator's discretion to otherwise allow improvements if the administrator determined any negligible flood increases. Additional revisions include minor edits to the statement of purpose for cleanup and clarification. We added and clarified statements that the regulation is required to participate in the National Flood Insurance Program and more clearly listed the benefits of that program. We also made changes to the description of the information required from applicants. We hardened the requirement that development must not result in flooding of another structure or increase the base flood elevation by more than 1 foot. And we added a permanent record retention requirement. And finally, for Zone 899, we deleted out-of-date and unnecessary references to the number of residents and a dollar amount of property subject to damage. Other changes were very minor in nature, just for clarification purposes. And we also, I just want to mention that we also ran these proposed changes by SAFCA and ensured that there is no impact to any of their projects on the levee improvements. So with that, I'll open it to any questions or feedback.
Okay, let's see if we've got public testimony here.
Mayor, I have no speakers on this item.
Okay, Councilmember Kaplan.
Thank you. And I just want to repeat one of the questions I asked at Law and Ledge since I saw that the write-up wasn't changed. But on page 1, it says that the city must comply with higher floodplain standards than required by the NFIP. And then the very next sentence, you say that the proposed changes are consistent with the NFIP, and consistent doesn't necessarily mean higher standards. Can you help clarify for me?
They're both higher and consistent in different areas. Some areas they're higher, other areas they're consistent. So they are higher and consistent.
But higher enough so that our residents can still take the 35% reduction.
Correct.
And then as we are certifying our levees and becoming more compliant with flood management, I'd like the city to consider this at some point, because we're going to have to look at coming out of A99 designation, which is really important for my area and businesses because it costs a lot of money for insurance. And I know that the city wants to take a comprehensive approach, which may take a year or two longer, where I would prefer if certain areas are certified, I'd like to see those businesses and residences get the benefit right away instead of waiting for a comprehensive. So I'm hoping that we can continue to have that conversation so that when we've reached those floodplain standards to get out of the A99 designation, that benefit can come to certain areas that qualify instead of waiting a year or two later. We're all in hard times, and I'd like to see individuals and businesses benefit from reduced insurance rates when possible, as quickly as possible.
Agreed.
Thank you. And I'll move the item.
Seconded. All in favor, please say aye. 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 Oppose, abstain. It passes unanimously. Thank you very much, sir. All right. We do have 41 speakers who are here to testify on items not on the agenda about a particular business, I believe in District 6, a cannabis business. And I don't know whether Mr. Pace or who would like to just make a brief statement, or I don't know if the Vice Mayor wants to or not. I'm not. We'll have Mr. Pace just talk about, I know it's not on the agenda for action, but I thought it would be helpful to just get a briefing on what this is about, again, without action, before we hear the public testimony. It's not agendized for action, correct?
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Tom Pace, Director of Community Development. Yesterday, notice was served to a business in the Power Inn industrial area called Natura. It was a notice to vacate the building because the certificate of occupancy, the temporary certificate of occupancy that had been issued to allow completion of construction on the project had expired. The city had extended the amount of time available to complete the construction for an extraordinary several years, taking into account the COVID situation that we all faced. However, no further extensions were granted, and as a result, the facility is not certified as being safe to occupy. And we have advised the company to vacate the building and complete the construction work for which they have current open permits so that the work can be completed safely, inspected, certified as compliant with the code, and then a final permanent certificate of occupancy can be issued so that business operations may resume.
And who made the determination about safety?
Our chief building official, and also in consultation with our fire marshal.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's hear from members of the public, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 41 speakers. The first is Gerald Landreth, then Greg Chang, then Carl Silviera.
I just want to say, everybody is entitled to speak, but if the folks who are speaking on the same subject are organized in some way and want to consolidate their list of speakers, I mean, we're here to listen. It doesn't help always to say the same thing over and over again. Your choice. I just want to give you that opportunity. Okay.
Am I ready to go?
I just put it out there.
Okay.
You're on, sir.
My name is Gerald.
Go ahead.
My name is Gerald Landreth. This is the fourth time I've been here. Mayor, you haven't been here when I've been speaking because you've left because they've had me at the end of the meeting. But anyways, the problem that we've had is out by Altos Avenue and
Different subject. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Sorry. You go.
okay.
It wasn't on the subject I had spoken about. So go
Okay, well, what I'm talking about out there is that we've had 3 fights, 3 fires. In fact, we had a fire yesterday in a tent. So the tent community, that's a residential area where there's homeowners out there, and the homeowners are just irate of what's going on out there. They did have, the city came in and they did, the positive part of it is that they did come in and they did tag some of the tents to leave. But not all of them left, and the one that didn't leave is the one that caught on fire. So we've been having a problem out there with it's just a whole tent community, and a lot of residents are just saying, hey, we're paying property taxes for this, to have someone just camp a tent right in front of our house. So, I mean, it's a real big issue. And a lot of even down here where there's at Arco's having the same problem too. So we've got tons of tents behind our building, and these people are coming in and all they're doing is stealing from us. So, I mean, that's a tent community that these people need to go somewhere else. I've talked to a lot of the homeless out there. A lot of them don't want to be there. They want to be somewhere else. They don't want to be in a residential area. There's a lot of elderly people who are out there in tents. There's veterans out there in the tents, and they just don't want to be there. So it's just that something needs to be done. That community really with the tents really need to be moved somewhere else. And my option to it is to start building apartments for the homeless and have an on-site counseling center inside these apartments for the homeless people. So we don't have this issue anymore. We get them out of the city, and if they're mentally ill, we put them in these apartments.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Our next speaker is Greg Chang, then Carl Silviera.
Thank you, Council. My name is Greg Chang. I'm an employee at Natura. I've been a resident of Sacramento since 2011. My parents immigrated to this country in 1989 in the hopes that they could provide me a better life. When I was growing up, my mom was a waitress at 2 different restaurants so that we could make ends meet. So I know what it's like to have to worry about not having enough money for basic needs. I've been an employee in Natura for the past 2.5 years. Over 600 people work at Natura, many of whom are not fluent in English, but they speak Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, and many more. They work together every day, eat lunch together every day. They even organize potlucks for each other on their birthdays. They treat each other like family, even though they don't speak the same language. I've never seen anything like it. It's a beautiful thing. So these are honest, hardworking mothers and fathers. They always have a smile on their face when I walk by them because they feel safe. They didn't have to worry about how they're going to pay their rent or buy groceries. I say felt because they lost that security today. As I was leaving work, these employees were congregating around notices posted by the city stating that if they come back to work, it's a misdemeanor. They looked absolutely devastated. Their jobs were safe through COVID, and now they're terrified. Our building isn't unsafe. Being jobless is unsafe. Does the city really realize what they're doing? Is there no other alternative course of action where the city and a business can cooperate and resolve issues without needlessly eliminating jobs? I believe Sacramento is one of the greatest cities to live in, and I hope that they will do the right thing. Thank you, Council. I appreciate your time.
I'm going to ask you to allow us to proceed with 41 speakers timely by not clapping after everyone, because then the person can't hear who the clerk is calling to be able to come on up. Thank you.
And I'll read a few names if you want to line up in the middle aisle. That's appropriate. Carl Silveira, Josh Schmidt, Seth, Anthony Scaldier. Carl?
Hello. My name is Carl Silveira. I am a resident of Sacramento. I just want to state that I moved to Sacramento almost 2 years ago. A huge part of why I moved up here was Natura. I've actually been working there since I moved to the area. I support my child with this job. I'm a single father. I have full custody of my kid. She attends Sutter Middle School in Folsom. She actually fractured her ankle today at school. Thanks to my amazing benefits that this company provides me, I was able to take care of her and make sure that she had everything she needed to remain comfortable and get through it. I just want to know what you guys are doing to make sure that I have a job tomorrow. I see the show of force. I see the shitty city showing up, or the city showing up, 8, 9 cars deep telling us we can't leave our place of employment. That doesn't look like the support the city should be providing a company that gives jobs to so many people, me included. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Josh, then Seth.
All right. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our honorable mayor, vice mayor, and the esteemed members of the city council for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Josh Schmidt, and I'm honored to stand before you today as a representative of Natura, a company headquartered here in Sacramento that creates products for adults over the age of 21 and medical patients throughout the state of California. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the profound significance of today's event as we celebrate Black Brewers Day. It is beautiful and honorable occasions, highlighting the contributions of a community that has enriched our lives in countless ways. As someone who has witnessed the transition of my industry from illegality to legitimacy, I can't help but reflect on the potential for a future where we also celebrate the pioneers and entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds in the cannabis industry here in the city of Sacramento. Just as we recognize the craft and innovation of Black brewers today, I hope that one day we can extend our appreciation to Black, Brown, Asian, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and individuals from all walks of life who contribute to the vibrant and rapidly evolving cannabis industry. Whether they are cultivators, nurturing unique strains, extractors, unlocking the healing potential of the plant, gummy makers, crafting delightful edibles, or joint rollers who bring people together through shared experiences, their dedication and creativity deserves recognition. Natura provides a place for everyone to create together, a place that also provides a stable job and insurance for my family of 5, which includes a 9-year-old severely autistic son. The cannabis industry, like many others, has the power to transcend boundaries and unite people of diverse backgrounds and perspective. We just want to be treated equal. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Seth, then Anthony, then Orion Roger.
Thank you. My name is Seth Schnapsler. I moved here with my wife and 3 elementary-age children from Florida all the way to Sacramento to work for Natura. We fully embrace the community. We love Sacramento. We plan to be here forever. My wife is a substitute teacher. We're coach teams in the elementary schools. We're really embrace the community. I appreciate the city's support in bringing us here, and the community and patients share that gratitude too. Our diverse team of over 300 plus employees, I don't know the exact number, are all fulfilling our dreams. We hope to be here and be recognized just like those before us. Stability at Natura is crucial, not just for my family, but for the people of Sacramento and all California users. Your support is genuinely valued. And I just want to say today wasn't just about safety. You know, they came in and they just put signs up in the door. It was more of a hostile situation in terms of where I was outside of my office. And if I was able to go back in my office, I was breaking the law just to go get my keys and leave for the day to go see my family. I didn't come here and move from Florida to Sacramento to break the law. And I had people telling me that if I just walked and got my keys, I was breaking the law today. So, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anthony Scuderi, then Orion Roger, then Tiffany Sweeney.
Hello, my name is Anthony Scuderi. I'm the production manager at Natura. I moved to Sacramento in 2013. I've raised a family here. Before working at Natura, I worked in restaurants where I worked long hours, weekends. I didn't get to see my family a lot. Moving to Natura allowed me to stabilize my life, stabilize my family, allowed me to be a coach for my son's teams, which allows me to get back to the community. That makes me feel good about what I do. I can have a job and still have a life. My wife does not work. She takes care of our kids. So when we have instability like this at work, it makes me wonder, what are we gonna do, right? I can't go a week without a paycheck. And there are many employees that I know cannot do the same exact thing. Today I had to send away 20 people at the door as they walked in to do second shift. That's not hard for me. Those are hourly employees that rely on a check and rely on us being there. And we have been there for them every single day for 3 years. And today it gets taken away from them. We have 100 more.
Pay attention. These are families that are suffering that aren't elite.
Thank you. We have many more employees that tomorrow don't know what we're going to do and don't know how we're going to proceed. I'm disappointed in Sacramento today and disappointed in how everything was handled. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Orion Roger, then Tiffany Sweeney, then Michael Hicks.
Hi, my name is Orion Roger. I want to say thank you for the time today. I've been a resident of Sacramento for 10 years now. Sacramento is crucial to my family, crucial to myself. It's been a place where I've found opportunity, where a previous time in my life I had to seek opportunity outside of the state. Sacramento is a place where I'm raising my 3-year-old daughter who suffers from autism. Sacramento is a place where there are services provided in the form of speech therapy and occupational health and development. It is an area where I am so grateful for opportunity that's been provided by the company Natura, provided by the state resources here, provided by the city resources here. Today, that feeling of comfort, that feeling of welcomeness took a huge blow. It is a terrifying place to be in, to not know what you're going to do tomorrow. As a resident, as a person who works and lives and has a family that we plan to reside here for the rest of our lives. You can see all around us, we have an immense family that we've created at Natura, and we're all stuck in this moment now where we're questioning, and we want to be heard. We want our voices to be loud and understood. We're contributing to Sacramento, we're contributing to the economy, we're contributing to diversity and growth and innovation in the city. And we want to continue to do so. So that's what we're asking for, is the opportunity to continue to do so. And we're asking, what will the city do to protect our company, to protect our jobs, and to protect our families? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Tiffany, Michael, and then Josh Gale.
Good evening, council members. My name is Tiffany Sweely, and I'm the HR director of Natura. I've been with the company for 3 years, and I know every name and face of the 294 employees that work on our campus. Every person has a history, a background, and a story unique to them. We are a strong, driven group of people brought together to innovate and push forward an industry that is so stigmatized. I have been there to support every person through their various stages of their life story. This includes marriages, births, and loss of family members. Every person comes to work to put food on their family's table, clothes on their family's back, and rent or mortgage to pay every month to keep the roof over their head and provide medical, dental, and vision benefits for their family. We believe in the people we hire and have given second chances and countless growth opportunities. These are real people with real struggles and a real need to work. I stand before you today to ask the City Council to take notice of what your city entities are doing to our industry and do what is within your power to save every single one of these jobs that is vitally important to every family this company supports. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Michael, then Josh, then Carlos Gonzalez.
Greetings, council members. My name is Michael Hicks, and I deeply appreciate you taking the time today to hear our concerns. I work for Natura Life Plus Science, and the city of Sacramento is my home. I believe in what I do because I know cannabis is a medicine that positively benefits the lives of thousands, if not millions of people. Aside from its role as a medicine, numerous studies have shown that in places where safe, legal cannabis is made available, there has been a substantial reduction of overdose deaths in the scourge of opiate abuse, which is claiming the lives of 80,000 Americans per year, including in Sacramento County, which has a higher rate of overdose than both California and the national averages. I believe wholeheartedly in the purpose and the mission of the company I work for, a company that employs hundreds of Sacramento residents, that treats its employees well, and that has done everything to operate inside the lines by the book, paying taxes to Sacramento and the state of California. I believe my company is wrongfully under assault, and my job and the jobs of hundreds of others are in jeopardy right now. And I would like to know what the City Council is doing to protect our livelihoods and the mission of this legitimate company, which is in the business of saving the lives of Californians and residents of Sacramento. Please help us to preserve this valuable Sacramento business. I deeply appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Josh Gale, then Carlos Gonzalez, then Bill Zellner.
Thank you for your time, council members. My name is Josh Gale. I'm a former corporal of the United States Marine Corps Infantry. I'm a father, and I'm a father of 2 young boys and a husband. To be frank, I am more scared today than I've been in my entire life. I have to go home today and have a conversation with my wife and let her know that we are in a situation that if I'm not allowed to work tomorrow, we're gonna have to start selling personal items in order to maintain the roof over our head and food on our table. In a post-COVID era with $6 a gallon for gasoline, $8 a pound for chicken breast, $2,000 a month for childcare, $2,500 mortgages, $800 insurance premiums, we can't survive on one income alone. Vice Mayor Guerra, how do I comfort my wife when I get home tonight and I have to tell her that everything is gonna be okay, that we will make it through to next month? Because I don't think we will if I cannot work tomorrow. Natura provides for me so that I may provide for my family, and I am asking you to help Natura provide for us. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Carlos Gonzalez, Bill Zellner, then Jarrett Ackerman.
Hello, my name is Carlos Gonzalez. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I've recently moved here a year ago from Tampa, Florida. I have 4 adult children that live here in Sacramento. They've been here for about 10 years. They've been trying to get me to come out here, and all my family back in Florida were thinking I was crazy to move to California, but I really like it here. And for the whole year that I've been here, it's been very difficult for me to find a job and very stressful, trying to make it on one income with my wife. And back in July, I was able to find employment with Natura, and I'm very excited about working there. My family's very excited about me working finally. And but today brought a lot of uncertainty. It brought a lot of memories. It was like a punch in the gut after being a long time without working, and then finally, I have a place with I have insurance. I went a whole year without insurance, and and now that I'm working, I have to go home tonight and talk to my wife and my family and let them know, things are uncertain, and it's not a good feeling to have, especially after being a whole year without having employment. So I'm asking you please to consider what's going on and what's happening. Take into consideration the amount of people, what I've gone through. I'm sure many others have gone through. And it's a very dangerous situation to find yourself in, health-wise, mentally-wise. I only got 21 minutes left here, seconds. But, you know, it took a whole year to find a job. It could have been my age, for whatever reason it was, but it was a whole year. And I finally have a job, and I really enjoy working there. I love the people that work there as well. We're connected with them, and I really enjoy working there. So I ask, please take into consideration.
Your comments, your time is complete.
Thank you for
Bill Zellner, Jared Ackerman, then Sherry Mathia.
Hi. First, I'd like to start by thanking the council for hearing all of us today. My name is Bill Zellner. I'm a resident of the city of Sacramento. I'm a disabled veteran, and I'm the nursery manager at Natura Life and Science. My life and career was negatively impacted by the COVID shutdown, and I was honestly days away from being homeless. Natura literally saved my life. They gave me a job, they gave me a livelihood, they gave me a purpose. They helped keep a roof over my head and food on my table, and today's actions against Natura threatened everything that I've rebuilt over the last 3 years. We all just recited the Pledge of Allegiance before we started this meeting. So I asked the council, where's the liberty, where's the justice, and the actions that the city took against Natura today? And I also want to know, what is the city going to do to help ensure that I have a job tomorrow, that I can pay my bills tomorrow, that I have a roof over my head tomorrow, and food on my table? Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Jared Ackerman, then Sherry. Following Sherry is Satat The Hazaviong.
Evening, council members. Thank you for taking all the time for us. I'm another employee of Natura. I'm our head of research and development, and I'm also another veteran with the United States Army. The big thing that Natura had done for me, outside of providing everything else that we've already stated, was outreach to further veterans. My big thing is my fellow brothers and sisters who have served for us and with us. The more that we provide, and now today, the more that we have taken from them, they will feel that. The VA provides care, yes, but it doesn't reach everybody and it doesn't touch every issue. Natura touched every single issue for me. Not only did, like they said, give us place of employment and a sense of purpose, but they also gave veterans like myself medicine that the VA simply won't give us. These actions that have been taken today, again, irrespective of everything else that it directly provides for us, we're losing everything that it indirectly provides for my community of veterans. So we ask you, like everybody else, to please take further consideration into what has happened to us today. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Sherry Mathia, Sitat, then Isaiah Gutierrez.
Good evening, councilmen and women. My name is Sherry Mathia. I am a resident of Sacramento. I moved here in 2017 to be specifically a part of the cannabis industry. I moved to be part of the growth to an industry that I thought was trying to better the industry and community around them, but it seems like it was an industry designed to fail, and no part other than the city and the state as a whole. Not only is Natura trying to better the community with the benefit of cannabis, but they're also employing, as you've heard, hundreds of people here that you're not only affecting their income, but you're affecting the families of their income, and their income as well. My mother was recently diagnosed with heart failure and essential tremors, where she is no longer able to work, and her income is based off solely what I make. I not only pay her everyday rent, her monthly rent, but I pay her day-to-day groceries and other aspects that she has to, as well as my own livelihood. So now I need you to consider it on not only the people that you're affecting on the day-to-day basis that are on the Natura payroll, but those that are connected to us and how we are going to be able to pay our families and help them survive. So respectfully, I'm asking you to stop interfering with our income and give us an opportunity to better this community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Sitat, and then Isaiah.
Hello, my name is Isaiah Gutierrez, and just like everybody else, I've been here in Sacramento for about 28 years, and basically we're all going through the same thing. We need to get paid, we need to work. My father was diagnosed with cancer. He had to retire early. He had to make his money. With that, he has to pay his cancer bills, and I gotta help provide as well. I got 2 nieces and a nephew I gotta provide for as well. So I hope you guys consider us. 'cause this is not okay. Thank you.
Your comments. Did that? And then Ori Byton.
Hi, my name is Titot Saivong, or Tui, they call me, my middle name. I am Sacramento resident. I am also a combat veteran of the United States Army. I came here to Sacramento. I've been here 3 years, so I've been suffering a lot of stuff internally, and this is my family. You know, it's been many years. It's been close to 20 years where I kept to myself. I finally been able to get the help, and I felt like that was taken away from me today. And I hope the city can consider in what ways they can help. Sorry I'm breaking up, but it's been a little rough. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Before the next speaker comes up, as we listen to all these speakers, I want to know one thing. Is the management here?
Yes.
Oh, that's you. Okay, good.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Ori Byton.
We may have some questions here. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for listening to us. You mentioned earlier that you want to attract businesses to Sacramento and you want to develop new industries. I came to this city in 2016 after you guys passed the ordinance. And with me, I brought about $200 million of investments. Probably my group is the largest new investor in town. We invested in real estate, we invested in development, we invested in cannabis. And we built Natura. We started building Natura in 2019 after we saw a lot of our operators in our people that rented from us properties have failed. I have buildings on 88th Street, on Younger Creek, a lot of them in Eriguera District, you know us pretty well. And what's happening here is just wrong, because Natura has been operating for 3 years under TCO that the city allowed us. And we had over 50 inspections in those 3 years that every time the inspectors came, deemed the facility to be safe. We're talking about fire, building, code. They came, they checked, they deemed it safe. A few weeks ago, something changed, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, in a surprise, they decided, all of a sudden, it's not safe. On site, we have about 450 employees. People say different numbers. We have 2 different teams. We have the Natura team and we have Alpha X team that they're representing here as well. All of those people are hard-working people, and they're in a safe environment. Actually, our workers' comp actually dropped significantly because we are a safe place. What I'm asking from the City Council to do today is to override the decision of Bob Blatz, the chief building inspector, and have you guys acting as a board of director. Something is rotten in the management of your city.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete.
1 second, ma'am.
Thank you for your comments. Mayor, did you have some questions?
I'm going to ask a question, yes. So the city management tells us that these issues of code violations have been ongoing and communicated for 2 years. You're saying it was just a couple of months ago that you first found out about this, and this is some precipitous decision and something is rotten with the management of the city. I'm sorry. We have a very good and respected fire marshal and building inspector. So you need to explain to us, and we're not making a decision here because this is not agendized. If you're telling us you've received no notice of this and there's no violation and no serious health violation, then we will check into that, of course. But I have a hard time believing that because the city does not take that kind of precipitous action.
Let me explain you the situation. We started construction on our 12-acre facility, which is about 300,000 square foot with multiple buildings. We started construction August of 2019. Our first building, it's a big site. The site used to have homeless over there, and we took about 42 containers of crap out of there. It's in Eric District. You know it pretty well. We have multiple buildings on site. The first building, we had a TCO in August of 2020. Then COVID came in, and delayed us. But we never received violation notices. We always worked under extensions of the TCO because the inspectors inspecting us once a week. Between fire and they're always inspecting us, and they deem it safe and allow us to continue. The only time we got a notice of violation is now, 2 weeks ago. We never received a violation, ever. This is the first time in our history. Until now, we've been working in partnership with Building and Safety. Actually, Eric was negotiating an agreement with the city last week. Last week, we had, on Monday, on Yom Kippur, we had Building and Safety inspection. On Tuesday, we had mechanical inspection. On Thursday, we had fire inspection. Eric worked with the city, and what was negotiated, that if there is a great improvement in our completion, the city will allow us to keep operating. Friday, it's changed. Out of nowhere, the city decided they are not willing to extend our TCO. That means our BOP, our business operating permits, are revoked. It's an automatic procedure. Only because one person in the city or a few people in the city looking at it the wrong way. We are probably one of the largest taxpayers in town. We're paying about $2.5 million a year to the city of Sacramento. That is how much money my company is paying to the city of Sacramento.
Okay, thank you. I'm frankly concerned about the workers. And, you know, there are a lot of questions, whether or not you, excuse me, no, sit down. Whether or not you knew of the violation or whether or not you informed your workers.
No, we didn't
because
have
they're the
violations.
ones that are innocent here. Councilmember Guetta, I want you to speak to this, please. Before we go further, stop it. Quiet. No, no more. Councilman Guetta.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I do want to thank all the workers who came here today to always speak their comment. And what I will say,
You're out. Please leave. No, please leave. I'm asking you to please leave. We violated the rules now 3 times. Please leave.
I'm standing up for court here.
Please leave. Go ahead, Eric.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, first, I will have our city staff respond here on this. But number one, you know, I appreciate all the workers who came here and speaking about their issue. That's what this time is for and is about. But I will say to the management, which we have our office has tried to work with and communicate with the agency staff about it, that and your workers, you should have notified your workers about this condition too, where the things were. Now, we were working with you guys to try to make sure that this occurs, but I want to make sure that the staff have a response here about where the condition is at, because this is not the place, nor do we have the legal authority to take any action. So if you excuse me, Ori, excuse me, sir, okay? If you informed your workers that you were going to get an action today, you're misleading your workers again. Now, we appreciate their comment. This is an important aspect of why we have public comment. But and any of your attorneys would have told you that would have been a situation for today. But I do want the city staff to respond, because what has always been important to me is how we create more local jobs and employment. And I do appreciate the way you've taken it by making sure that you not drive low-wage jobs, that you provide health care. All of those pieces, I do want to say I appreciate the way you've run your operation in that manner. But this is one thing that needs to be at least responded about. What can be done today? Because that's why your workers came here today. They want to know what can be done today.
What can be done today?
Excuse me. The city.
Right, thank you.
Go ahead.
Mayor and council.
Yeah, please. We need more information.
Sure. My understanding is that there have been fire violations since at least 2020. They have been operating on a temporary certificate of occupancy, which should have been finalized and turned into a certificate of occupancy years ago. When the certificate expired on September 22nd, it was very clear to you and Mr. Powell that the building was to have been vacated, that no additional work was to be done with the exception of construction work to respond to all of the violations that had been noted prior in the inspections, as well as to continue the build out of the plans that are on file, which my understanding is there's been construction, but it is not to the specific plans, and that will also need to be addressed. It is our feeling that it is for the safety of your workers that we focus on completing the construction the plans that have been submitted or those plans are revised per your discretion to do so and to build to the plans and pass final inspections. Inspections happen, but if they're not final, we can't issue a final permit, and that temporary certificate has expired, and we can no longer allow employees to be in the facility.
How long might this take if they finish their work that the city wants them to do?
My understanding from their last estimate, and this is really up to them, is at least till the end of December.
Excuse me, we are trying to get to the bottom of this. Do not shout out, it doesn't help. We're trying to figure this out, okay? It's not agendized, we can't take action. But we're trying to do the right thing by the working people here, but we need to understand more to see if there is any kind of a solution here, okay?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
So the only real question that this council has for the staff is will the staff be working with the operator to make sure that we are clear, that the city is clear on what needs to get completed to continue to reissue the permit?
I am not envisioning the ability to reissue a TCO. However, we will always work with the applicant. We will always work with them through building. We cannot become building advisors. They need to have their own construction folks who understand the notice of violations and what it takes to cure those violations, and we are available for inspection at any time. There may be an opportunity to consider, once all of the fire life safety violations have been completed, is there any other path forward? But we are nowhere near that opportunity at this time.
So let's just take the fire and life safety issues. We dealt with this, remember, with the community center theater, a very different context. But what is, maybe we ought to have the fire marshal and the building inspector, what is the minimum that needs to get done to allow the workers to continue working safely? I think that's what we want to know. What would it take? And this is not on behalf of the business, by the way. This is on behalf of the working people. Business owner seems to be doing just fine. It's the workers.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Jason. I'm the Fire Marshal for the City of Sacramento. Currently, the violations that we have listed deal with both fire suppression and fire protection items, which are fire life safety. These items need to be mitigated, and just as mentioned in the earlier timeline, we feel that they can be done. We will make sure to have inspections and our staff available 24/7 to be able to help that. But
I know you're not the one doing the work, but based on your professional opinion and what you have seen, do you know how long it should take in order to fix those problems?
Well, the list is pretty extensive right now. So we would really need to work with the company to prioritize these items. We had a meeting with them earlier today to be able to do a phased approach, meaning that we can more than likely work on a building by building to sign off a building so that each building could be finalized. And then once the building is final, one building's final, it could reopen. So that's probably the quickest approach that we can do.
Mayor, what I'd like to suggest is that we take this offline with them, because at this point, working through timelines and working through deadlines.
I don't want to do it here, but
Right.
I just wanted to get an idea, because we want to have some kind of response to the innocent people out here who are the working people. That's all. Excuse. Please. Yeah, go ahead. Identify yourself.
Sure, I'm Craig Powell. I'm one of the co-founders. First of all, we keep using, and I think language is important, we keep using the term violation. Nothing that we've received from the fire department uses the phrase violation. These are corrections, okay? We've been subjected to regular ongoing inspection with our partners from the fire department, and until, actually even today, have received good feedback on where we are, okay? I asked the marshal's inspector on Thursday how he felt about the condition of our facility. I could bring up 3 or 4 people who were there. His response was, "I'm content. You've made significant progress. I feel good about it. I appreciate the relationship we have and all that we've been through as we built this facility." So to characterize it as repeated violations is simply not true. Okay? We have been in a situation under TCOs for the past 3+ years. And until August 1st, that's the pattern we've been in. And we've made regular, ongoing progress. Everything changed on August 1st. And I don't know why. Okay? That's the nature of what's going on. It is not tenable from a business perspective, and certainly not from the perspective of these 400 people, to say you're going to shut this facility down for months at a time. That's not tenable. That won't work. It makes no sense.
Again, I know this is unorthodox, and I'm getting lots of looks about this isn't on the agenda, this is too far. From my perspective, if we're coming close to the line, okay, because there are hundreds of people whose livelihood is at stake here. And I'm not saying the city isn't totally right here. They may be. But I want to have the discussion because there's no other way to do this in a way that potentially... believe me, stop it. Stop it. You may not like the end result, by the way, but we're going to at least try. So okay, building by building. Give the man an answer here publicly about, can you meet tomorrow? And try
Point
to
of order, Mayor, point of order. I am with you. I am with you about the workers. Here's what I may advise so that we do not violate the Brown Act and state law, because this has not been agendized.
Correct.
I think that I know you are passionate about this. I know Councilmember Guerra is passionate about this. It is probably best if we adjourn the council meeting. You two stay and have a conversation to see what can be done with city staff so that we don't get accused of violating, which any agreement comes to is null and void.
You know what? That's a good suggestion. There you go. Okay. And again, I'm back in Councilmember Vice Mayor Guerra here. I just want to have be able to have the conversation if there is a pathway and a timeline to assure that we can get back to work. That's what we want to achieve.
And I'm
right?
totally with you without violating the law.
Okay, fine. So I would ask the remaining speakers then, you're welcome to come up, but it's almost 7 o'clock. If you would allow us to adjourn the meeting, we could then get to the discussion and see if we might have this conversation. Eric? There's no solution. Okay.
Look, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna gaslight the workers here
Go
to say
ahead.
that there's gonna be a solution done today. First of all, I do want to say that my office has been in constant engagement on this issue to find a realistic and fast pathway and to work with the department. And in fact, the phased-in approach has been the conversation of how can we actually make it happen. But I don't want to send anyone any false expectations that if you stay here tonight, some kind of solution will be resolved, because it won't. It will not. And as Councilmember Kaplan mentioned here, we legally have no authority to, and if there was a solution, it would be null and void because of the Brown Act. So to that point, the thing that the workers should take away from tonight is your message was heard. It was heard by members of the council and the mayor and by the staff here. And it's been heard by the fire department. And they have a responsibility to do their due diligence as well, but the message from what the workers are facing has been heard.
Okay. Then let's hear from the rest of the public testimony. That's fine, and I'll be quiet. Good.
Mayor, I have 22 more speakers: Jose Flores, Danielle Fernandez, Natasha Fernandez, Eric Clymer. So Jose Flores, Danielle Fernandez, Natasha Fernandez, Eric Clymer, Anthony Cortez.
Hello, Council. My name is Jose Flores. I am a resident of Sacramento, and next month I would have been a resident of Sacramento for 3 years. Next month also be 3 years since I started working at Natura. Natura has become a family to me, in Sacramento has become a home to me. So I want to know what you guys are going to do to make sure that I still have a job tomorrow and that I can continue to call Sacramento my home. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Danielle Fernandez, then Natasha.
Hello. I've been a resident of Sacramento for about the last 16 years. I've been a Sacramento-based musician for about that long as well. I've been very much involved in the Sacramento community for very long. I was working for a cannabis company prior to this one that ran into the same issues as we're seeing today. Unfortunately, we did not make it out on top. It was probably one of the worst days of my life, having to tell my team that they did not have jobs to come back to. Luckily, thank you to Natura, a lot of those employees now work for Natura. So I am happy to call Natura my home. I'm happy to call Natura my family. And I'm really eager to see what the city is going to do for these people that work so hard. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Natasha Fernandez, Eric Clymer, Anthony Cortez.
Hi, my name is Natasha Fernandez. Thank you for hearing us tonight. I will say my sister and I share the same experience. I worked at Bloom Farms for about 4 years. We went on a shutdown just before the pandemic really hit to where we really understood what was going on. It was like March. That's when everything was kind of starting to become more of an elevated situation for everybody, an uncertain place for everyone. We unfortunately had to shut down in March, and we sent tons of employees, I think 60 at that time at our facility on 47th Ave in Auto Circle. We had to send everybody home that day. And it was a complete, utter shit show, if I could be blatant. It was awful. I feel like in this moment I'm living that PTSD all over again of having to send people home with uncertainty. I'm hoping that we don't sustain this and we allow to give some reassurance to the community. Now I have brought almost every employee from Bloom to this facility. They all have jobs. They all feel security. They have brought in their families. Now I see extended family of these people. It's become a little bit different for me now because now this is much greater than 70 people. I ask that you guys consider a fair option so that we can at least feel that we can come to work tomorrow and do our due diligence to sustain ourselves and to have an opportunity to bring food to the table. I think a lot of people here have families. A lot of people have children. I have a family. I have a kid in college. I'm a caretaker on the weekends for my grandmother. It's extremely important that I provide security for my family when I'm not at work. Please try and see further than this moment.
Thank you for
of
your
a
comments.
shutdown
Your time is
and
complete.
consider
Thank you for your
reopening
comments. Eric Clymer, Anthony Cortez, then Charles Foss.
Good evening. My name is Eric Clymer. I've been working at Natura for about 2.5 years now. It's actually great to see some familiar faces in here from my old job at the dispensary. And what I wanted to address is this would be now the second time I have had to potentially switch jobs pertaining to a cannabis community. One was at the dispensary, and now I'm having to deal with that at Natura. This place has been, an amazing opportunity for me, coming from someone that did not complete college and took the route to further my career. Everybody, what you've heard is, we've made a family here, and I'm sure you guys have families at home, and, just that's how I view these other people, and just for us to be on the other side looking in is not ideal by any stretch. I understand that, outcome may or may not happen today, but I would urge you guys to just think of the impact not only that Natura has on the community, but what it's going to have on ourselves. So thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anthony Cortez, Charles Foss, then Luis Dimas.
Good evening, Vice Mayor Guerra, council members.
I've been with Natura for 2.5 years. My name is Anthony Cortez, and I serve as the general counsel. In that 2.5 years, I've seen amazing transformation in the company, and I've met amazing people. The number's been thrown around 400 employees, and those employees, their lives, they tell it better than I do, but there are employees for Natura in each and every one of your districts. So while the facility sits in District 6, this issue really does affect the entire council. I want to spend the remainder of my time addressing the issue that the mayor raised. What possible solutions are there? And quite frankly, there is a very easy solution directed to the city manager's office. Nobody from the city has made the argument that our building is less safe than it was at the issuance of the last TCO. Let me be clear about that. Nobody has argued or informed us or given any evidence whatsoever that our building is less safe than it was during the previous 12 TCO extensions. So what this issue is about is not safety, it's about time. And we get it, we've taken a long time. If I could snap our fingers and get $30 million to make the facility as best as we could, we'd do it. But you know our industry, you know we cannot get funding, you know the trials and tribulations of our industry. We have done the best that we can, and we are sorry that it has taken so long. But all we're asking for is 6 weeks. This is all happening over 6 weeks. That's all we want. And I've even suggested to the city manager a rolling 1-week extension of the TCO so that every Friday an inspection can occur, and if we're not meeting our obligations and goals, the TCO suspends. But this is about 6 weeks. That's all it's about. Nothing has changed in our building since the issuance of the last TCO. Not one thing except moving to a safer facility. That is it. So if we can't just buy 6 weeks to avoid this, or even a 1-week rolling extension on the TCO, then we've failed miserably.
Thank you for your
All of us
comments.
have
Your
failed
time
these
is
people.
complete. Our next speaker is Charles Foss. Charles Faust, then Louis Dimas, then Natalia Karchenko.
Sorry, change of pace. Lou and I are talking about homeless stuff. So I think it's worth noting, something I don't bring up often, is that the majority of you guys actually support the Haven for Hope model, and the majority of the County Board of Supervisors does. This is something that politically is necessary and needed in like, people want it, and you guys want it. So it's something that we need to actually work on as a team and make it happen. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say tonight.
Thank you for your comments. Louis Dimas.
Good evening, I'm Louis Dimas. I greatly appreciate the hearing assisted devices you provide me today. They work pretty well. I can hear the fairly attentive council members all when they speak. However, when the other people are speaking, it's not too good. So I think you need to improve your system. But it's interesting tonight that you have somewhat of a paradox. We're talking about health and safety and the protection of workers and the protection of everything else. And yet the health and safety deteriorates throughout the city. With the other subject we have tonight, which is often repeated every time you get together, it's the homeless. And you're spending a lot of money. And it's wonderful that you're doing it. You've been doing it for 3 or 4 years, and all you've done unsuccessfully is increase the amount of people that are homeless. Excuse me, Mayor, you said something? I'm not here to criticize. I do appreciate all your work done. You're spending money. But it's helter-skelter. You're trapped between the county, home, nonprofits are scattered all over the place. 2 years ago, we came before you and urged you to adopt the Haven for Hope model. And the only way that can be do that if you have the political will to do it. If you get involved with the county, the business leaders, and Mayor, if they don't want to help you, you should shame them.
Who shames the mayor? Right.
But what we do need is a regional campus in Sacramento County, and we were willing, our organization, we believe we can bring it to fruition in less than a year, and bring all the homeless and treat them diligently. Now, sometimes what happens, a lot of people don't realize that when you report, you say that they refuse services, but when you go to ask them, will you want to move to a shelter? Can you bring your dog? No. Can you bring this? No. You're not giving them reason.
Thank you for your comments.
Our next speaker is Natalia Karchenko, then Leo Zarowski.
Hello, my name is Natalie Harchenko. I'm a Sacramento citizen, not for a long time, just for a year. I'm here because my own home in Ukraine was bombed. And actually I don't have my home in Ukraine anymore. But Sacramento gave me a chance to find a new home. And Natura helped me to find this home. Actually, Natura became my home. And I can't imagine now just go back to Ukraine because it's impossible now. And only now I understand what's to be safe because actually before February 2022, I didn't understand this, what is to be safe. But now I do. And here in Sacramento, with Natura, I feel safe. And I am really thankful to this company and to this city that I'm here and I can continue my life. And I will be always thankful. And I just, again, thank you Sacramento, and thank you Natura. Thank you.
Leo Zarowski, then Ronald Young, then Heather Norris.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for gathering here today. I stand before you as a dedicated father and a husband, determined to provide a stable and bright future for my wife and 3 beautiful daughters. We took a bold step moving our family of 5 to Sacramento, driven by the promise of a new emerging industry that holds the potential to transform lives and communities. Our hope was to contribute and build a future where not only our family but also our city could prosper. But today, I stand here with a heavy heart. Our dreams have been shaken by the presence of a small army that descended upon our company and instilled fear and doubt into our future. These tactics of intimidation and uncertainty has plagued other cannabis companies, some of which sadly have succumbed, as you have heard today, leaving families without livelihoods. We are not alone in this struggle as similar stories echoes across the industry. The threat of closure looms, casting shadows of uncertainty. I implore you all to stand with us, not just as a company, but as a community. Let us band together to protect not just our homes at Natura, but the homes away from Natura, the very foundations of our lives. Let us advocate for fairness, transparency, and a future where emerging industry can thrive, where families can flourish, and where dreams are not stifled by intimidation. Our commitment to Sacramento is unwavering. We believe in the potential of the city, in the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Together, we can weather the storm, emerging stronger and more resilient. Let us work hand in hand to ensure the emerging industry we are a part of becomes a beacon of hope, stability, and a prosperity to all. And all of us have been discussing the fact that what happened in the last 48, 72 hours that have taken us from the TCO that we had to what we have today as being less safe. It makes no sense. Mayor, Vice Mayor, I implore you, please consider our futures and consider common sense.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Ronald Young, Heather Norris, then Julian Browning. Ronald Young. Following Ronald is Heather Norris, then Julian Browning, and then Saul.
Hello, my name is Ronald Young. I'm a resident of Sacramento. Natura changed my life. A year ago, I was stupid down. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Sorry, I'm not professional. I don't use all the big words and whatnot. I would appreciate it if I could have some eyes. Thank you. Miss, you look like you're sleeping. Thank you. Natura paid for me to go through school. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do with my life. I'm an electrician now because of Tiffany, Josh, Leo. There's a few people at this job that give a fuck about people. This company cares about people, unlike any other company I've ever worked for. Every other company would look at you and get the fuck out of here. They dive into their employees and actually give a fuck. And I appreciate the ones that look like that they respecting our wishes and giving a fuck about what we're here for today. But wholeheartedly, I've been working 6 days a week, 11 hours. I'm an electrician at my job, and all this list shit that the marshals give us, we fixed that. Me, I don't see any of the other maintenance people here. They all live hours away.
but they drive to my job every day, hours away, and get shit done. We have 4 people on our electrical team, 2 people on our HVAC team, about 9 people on our building team, and 2 plumbers. And they've been knocking out every single list that these marshals give us. Every single deadline, every little crazy ass, you got 2 weeks to get this done, we knock it out every single time. So I don't know all the schematics and legalities of everything. They talk about a rolling TCO and all that. Like, that sounds great. Like, you give me a deadline to get something done, we're going to get it done. Like, this building will get finalized. We just have hell of people that need to work too while I'm able to work. I'm gonna be fixing this building regardless. I'll be there until that shit is fixed. But I got a bunch of other coworkers that want to work too. So whatever you guys can do to help.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker is Heather Norris. I have 12 more speakers: Heather Norris, Julie Ann Browning, then Saul.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for your time. My name's Heather Norris. I'm the Director of Nursery Operations at Natura. My husband plays live music in the city of Sacramento, and he's an active member of the Sacramento Blues Society. I started with Natura during COVID to provide for my disabled daughter after my husband could no longer play music to support us. My employment with Natura allowed me to support my family by myself during that time. Unfortunately, my daughter passed away from her rare disease during my employment with Natura. She was 3.5. After my daughter died, Natura supported me through all of it. The CEO, Ori, called me on the phone to express his condolences and sent days' worth of food to my house when I didn't even realize I needed to eat. When I came back to work, Natura rallied together to raise money for my family, which became the first $1,000 of our IVF fund. Due to a rare chromosome abnormality in my husband, we have to go through IVF to make sure we have a genetically typical and healthy child. We actually just recently started our IVF appointments here in Sacramento so we can become parents again. And I know in my heart that I would not have the opportunity to afford IVF right now if it were not for my employment with Natura. This company is not just our livelihood, it is our passion and it is our purpose. You're not just threatening to shut down our facility, you're shutting down our futures. Because Natura doesn't just grow plants, they grow people too. So I stand here before you today to ask, what is the city of Sacramento going to do to guarantee that people like me with a dream and a purpose have a job that they can count on tomorrow for their families and their future? Thank you, council members, for your time.
Julianne, then Saul.
Hey, Sacramento. Thank you guys so much for your undivided attention. My name is Julianne Browning. I've been living and working in District 6 for quite a while now. I love working at Natura. If it wasn't for Natura, I'd have to move back to my family in Panhandle, Texas, in a sundown town where I'm no longer safe. So don't shut us down. Thanks.
Amen. Next speaker is Saul, then Matt Holst, then Kerwindeep.
Hi, good evening, council members. My name's Saul Garcia. I moved up here 3 years ago, recent graduate, so I just came up here to start a new life. I don't have anyone up here. I don't really have family, a few friends. Add more to what everyone else already said. It's really expensive out there. Can I survive without this job? I actually don't really know. It's not so much that maybe I can't find another job, it's just the fact that given enough time, if I don't find anything, I'll grow worse and worse and worse. Financially and also health-wise, because I'm actually on medication right now, so that's really my main worry is the medication issue. And being at work is really the best way for me to get through the day at this point. I realize you guys have your own things you gotta jump through, your own hoops, just like I do. I honestly don't even know if this will make a difference, but I am hoping for the best. I just hope you guys can figure something out within the next week, because theoretically, getting to December, it is going to ruin not just like potentially my life, but a lot of people at work, including people who came here like my parents who are immigrants. And if they were laid off from their jobs when I was a kid, I wouldn't be here right now. I can't say anything more than that.
By the way, it's the safest it's ever been.
Matt, and then Erwin Deep.
It's even been. It's a reality, Mr. Mayor.
Matt.
Ori, please, you had your time to speak.
Matt, and then Erwin Deep.
My name is Matt Holshoe. I've lived in Sacramento for about a year and a half. I came up here to follow a dream and a passion that I've had pretty much my entire adult life, maybe even longer. You know, everybody in here knows somebody who has suffered, you know, mental health, physical health, you know, cancers, illnesses, and the ailments of life. And I would be hard pressed to say that, you know, people on this very panel don't suffer those things themselves. It affects every single one of us. Which brings, you know, to the fact that we've been talking about safety so much today. We walk out on the streets, you see a lot of the same ailments affecting people that kind of don't even have the resources. So it's kind of odd to kind of go against, you know, a facility that is providing, you know, relief for those things. You know, it's an alternative for, you know, many prescription medications. It's relief for the aches and pains of life, as well as, you know, your daily things that you go through. And a lot of those things will become a lot worse. The stresses that people feel when they don't have an income, when they don't have money to pay their rent, when they don't know how to tell their kids that they might not be able to get like a gift for Christmas, or that they, you know, won't be able to go see their family, or any of those things. You know, I'm joined with my coworkers that share that same dream and passion as me, and every single one of them are here to help make the world a better place. I joined Natura because it has the same values and the same vision that I've always had, and it felt like a match made in heaven that I could work with people so driven and so caring and so invested in their community. So I'm just here to ask that you allow us to continue to help give back to our community and help our fellow Sacramentans and beyond. And that's really it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Erwin Deep Sangra, Renee Dominguez, and then Shanita Crosby.
How's it going, guys? Hi, my name is Erwin Deep Songa. I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Sacramento. I grew up in Rancho Cordova, went to school at Barrett Middle School, and also Rio Americano High School, and I've attended Sacramento State College. I'm here today because I wanted to explain to the council members why cannabis businesses like Natura are necessary members of the community. But first, I wanted to explain a little bit something else. Cannabis plays a special role in my life. My father had worked for the United States Postal Service for over 20 years. He's a proud turban-wearing Sikh man with a large beard. 2 years after the attack on September 11th, my father was shot in the neck while delivering mail on the job in Orangeville. This heinous attack caused my father to have to take prescription Oxycontin, which spiraled into a full-blown painkiller addiction. My father would fall asleep at stoplights, he would drain the bank accounts, and his mood was practically gone. In other words, I had lost my father. I introduced my father to cannabis as an alternative medicine to the Oxycontin, really as a last resort. And after a year-long battle, I finally had my father back, thanks to the power of medicinal cannabis. The life in his eyes was back, and I thank God every day that cannabis gave him his life back. Businesses like Natura provide our city and state residents with safe, tested cannabis and reliable jobs, and these businesses also provide the city and state with valuable tax dollars. I believe a larger level of leniency should be allowed here so that the city does not take money out of hundreds of employees' hands. These employees are like you and I, community members who have families who they provide for. I hope the city will take a stand for their hardworking residents and find a solution that allows Natura to keep its doors open through this time. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Renee Dominguez, then Shanita Crosby.
Me?
Renee Dominguez.
Me, I'm Dominguez.
Renee Dominguez. Following Renee is Shanita Crosby, then Darian Hasseline.
Hello, council members. I'm a medicine man from Sonora, Mexico. One day somebody invited me to be part of this industry. I never imagined to work in this industry because what I see in my country, all these kids, all of them, they work with their heart to bring medicine to the world. I'm creating medicine with them for anxiety, depression, or kids that kill themselves outside. And these plants help them get out of that. I see in my country horrible things. And this industry, sorry, I'm excited. This industry is creating careers. The other ones they don't see. The fire department, they don't see. This is new industry. building careers for the future for our kids. I just moved 2 years ago. I moved my kids over here. And I went to the high school to see what these kids' future will be. And I see this new career for my kids too. Because they not just only grow cannabis, it's infusion the cannabis with plants and herbs for anxiety, depression. How many kids they killed themselves in the last 2 years? Between 13 to 28 years old, because they don't have the opportunity to meet this plant, because it has been satanized for hundreds of years. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I have 6 more speakers. Sharnita Crosby, then Darian Hasseltine. Sharnita? Yes. It's your turn to present to the council.
Okay, hi. Good morning, y'all. I mean, evening, nighttime almost. Okay, I'm here. I'm nervous a little bit, but no offense to nobody, but I'm a believer. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. You know, because I see different errors in both. But I want everyone up here to realize that I've been going through the cracks, and I've been calling out to everybody to try to help society. I have seen you guys give people money did not deserve it. Okay? I have seen you guys not even. I noticed that people that are Republican, they look in the inside. They take the character for who they are in the inside. They don't go by the surface and make judgment on who they are by just talking loud. They invest what they're getting themselves involved in. All right? Like I said, my name is Shanita Crosby, and I'm here because I've been trying to get a home so I can help the homeless. And I've been helping the homeless when my house burnt up to the ground and nobody came and helped, FEMA, nobody came and made my day and helped the people that I was re-entering with, okay? And I'm just not a nobody because I came from the streets, Oak Park, okay? I lived in Oak Park's bathroom. I laid in the penitentiaries. I lived on the drugs. I got raped, left for dead. See, when people don't experience these things, they have a high arc. But if you go through that gutter trash like I did, you'll have a compassion, okay? So I'm here I want you to know, because I don't want nobody thinking that I'm just here talking out the side of my neck. I have a ministry called I'm Telling It All Ministries. I've been trying to get help from the District 8. I've been trying to catch you, Mr. Durrell, but you was talking with my family, Stephon Clark and him. But this day, I want you to see me now.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Our next speaker is Darian Hasseltine, then Juan Manuel Villanueva, then Joshua Sand. Thank you for your comments, but your time is complete. Please take a seat. Thank you for your comments. Please take your seat.
Ma'am, your time is complete, but Mr. Lara, ma'am, your time is complete, but Mr. Lara can help you with your information over there. Yes. Thank you. Mr. Lara works on the homeless issues. He can help you over here. Thank you. Yeah.
Sharnita, your time is complete. If you wanted to speak to Mr. Lara. Sharnita Crosby.
Yeah. She's going to help you. Mr. Lara works on these issues. He's going to help you on the side here. Thank you, Miss Crosby.
Our next speaker is Darian Hasseltine.
Thank you.
Darian Hasseltine, Juan Manuel Villanueva, then Joshua Sand.
Who's next?
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Darian, please proceed. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Mr. Darian.
Darian.
It's best to understand where we're coming from. Just because you've been
Thank you.
high horses, they ain't never been to nothing.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Lara will help you with your issue. Thank you.
Because you can. You got the ability, you got the money, you got the resources, you know the people.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Your time is complete.
Darian.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Darian Hasseltine. I work for Natura. I am one of the newest employees, only being there for about 3 months. But it is completely evident in my decision to join this company, the heart and passion that Ori and Craig and the rest of our employees have. I'm incredibly blessed to be a part of this company. I moved to Sacramento about 3 years ago wow, it's actually 3 years ago this month, I escaped a abusive relationship and marriage that I developed severe depression and anxiety from. Cannabis was the only way that allowed me to be myself again without pumping my body with toxic chemicals. I believe in the mission that Natura has, and unfortunately for me, I am just a single woman who's attempting to survive and attempting to get back on my feet because being in a long-term relationship where you have everything stripped from you is really hard. I am, again, incredibly blessed to be a part of this company, and it is extremely terrifying to be at work thinking that you have a stable job and that you have a way to provide for yourself. And I feel for the rest of my coworkers and our employees who have families and who have children to provide for. So thank you so much for taking the time to work with us and to allow us to continue to work while we fix these issues. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Juan Manuel Villasuevo, Joshua Sand, and then Leo Plaza is our final speaker.
Buenas. Hi, hello. My name is Juan Manuel Villasuso. I moved to the United States 10 years ago because I've been growing weed all my life. And I found in California that might be the best place to do it, and the way of the efficiency we do it and the safety we're doing it. My background has been working in another 5 countries doing exactly the same thing, and Natura showed me the way we have to improve this company and this industry for the future. And I think you have the time to listen to us and take the importance of all this, because we have a lot of people who relied on us and trust in us and believe in us. And thank you for listening to us, everyone. Appreciate it.
Your comments? Joshua, then Leo.
Good evening, Council. My name is Joshua Sand. I'm representing Natura Life Science. I'm a very proud resident of Sacramento for the last 35 years, and I've watched Sacramento grow significantly. Since a child, I have been proud of my city and all of its achievements. Believe me when I have said I've seen this city, and I've seen a lot through this city. Natura is one of those businesses I have watched literally grow from the dirt field. I've decided to take a chance a long time ago at this company 2.5 years ago, and I didn't know what to do. This company took me in. It was a severe career change for me and my family. I can say over the years and the jobs that I've had, I have never had a company that has cared more about its employees and their careers. I took a chance at this company, and they accepted me and helped me grow. I have been working at getting my daughter for the last 12 years in my life, and I have had a chance finally at a good career and to get her in my life and providing a college fund with her. Not only that, I have a wife who let me take a chance at this company from a job that I've high paying, and I worked my way up. Believe me when I tell you that this is not a company that you want to leave Sacramento. I owe them everything. I would like this city council to reconsider the decision. This is the type of company that you would like in your city. The people and the families that work here are worthy of their jobs, and I feel that they will all continue to make you proud. They are building lives. Thank you, City Council, for hearing my voice tonight.
Leo Plaza. Not present. Not present. Craig Powell, I believe you spoke earlier, but you did turn the speaker slip.
Yeah.
Did you have additional comments?
Yeah, I did. I didn't get a.
Please proceed.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you so much. So the premise, this morning I went through the original TCO that was issued, and it was interesting to note that the verbiage on that TCO is that conditions are consistent with code and suitable for occupation. That's right from the inspector's report. So if that's the case, I'm sorry? If that's the case, then I suppose that the situation we're in now, someone's making the case that the facility, those buildings are less safe than they were at that time. And that's simply not true. There's no evidence of that. There's no record of that. And I think it's interesting to note, our workers' compensation costs in 2021 were almost $225,000. We've increased the number of employees, and as we all know, medical costs have gone up significantly, even in the last couple of years. We find ourselves today where our workers' comp costs are 4 times lower than they were in 2021. So for someone to make the case that those facilities, those buildings, these people are in a precarious situation, it simply doesn't synchronize with the facts that we have at hand. The solution to complete the buildings, shut down the facilities, shut down operations, complete the buildings, and then resume operations is simply not tenable. It's not tenable. There are literally tens of millions of dollars worth of plants and products that will rot and decay to their demise and to the demise of our company.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete.
Thank you for your comments, Mr.
Vice
Powell.
Mayor, I have no more speakers.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, that concludes. Mr. Byton, thank you very much for your time. Your time is complete. No, there is nothing in it. Ori, Mr. Byton, if you don't sit down, you'll be asked to leave. Mr. Byton, if you don't have, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, read the statement.
Ori, please do not disrupt the orderly conduct of these proceedings by continuing to speak from the audience. You're in violation of Chapter 5 of the City Council Rules of Procedure. If you will continue, you'll be ordered to leave the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Biden. Mr. Mayor,
I want to say a couple of things here, and then I know we're going to turn it over to Ms. Milstein about some suggested next steps. First of all, I know our city management team, and I know the building inspector and the fire marshal. They will work around the clock with you, collaboratively, to try and help you, if you do your part, get into compliance so that you can return your folks to work. What do we do in the meantime? I want to make a suggestion to you, and it's right to you, Mr. Biden. Don't begrudge anybody's wealth. This is a free country. You have the right to do whatever you want to do, and good for you. But there's a piece in the Los Angeles newspaper from March of this year in which you sold your Los Angeles home for $51 million. So I would suggest to you that you spend, you hire people to do double, triple, and quadruple overtime. Quadruple overtime to get this work done in collaboration with the building inspector and the fire inspector, and get these folks back to work as quickly as possible, and or pay your employees while this work gets done. The city inspectors do not take health and safety concerns lightly. And so this is as much on you, sir. Hire the contractors to work double and triple overtime and get this work done on behalf of your workers.
Okay, if I may, please, what I would like to...
Okay.
Please?
Okay. Mr. Powell, please sit down. Mr. Powell, sit down. Mr. Mayor, do you want me to shut the meeting down?
What? No, can I...
Point of order.
Thank you.
Point of order.
Okay, we're going to adjourn this meeting here. Madam Clerk, please read the statement.
Presiding officer, members of the public, if you continue to engage in conduct that disturbs the orderly conduct of the meeting, you're now in violation of Council Rules of Procedure, Chapter 5.
Mr. Mayor.
Therefore, I recommend you adjourn the meeting.
We are adjourning the meeting at 7:40
I would
p.m.
like to... May I have one moment, please? I would like to ask Mr. Byton and Mr. Powell to go to the back. My Assistant City Manager Mike Jasso is standing in the back to talk with Mike, to talk with Tom Pace, our Director of Community Development, to talk with Chris Castamagna, our Fire Chief, to talk with Jason Lee, our Fire Marshal. about getting together tomorrow to talk about next steps. Let me be clear. There are some things that need to happen that require power to be shut off. And the fire marshal and the fire chief will explain that to you. It is a requirement of law to achieve the required tests in order to certify the electrical system. And so can I finish?
Mr. Biden,
so that
let
is
Ms.
between
Milstein
the
complete her
fire
comments.
marshal and SMUD about when that test gets done, and they'll talk to you about that in the back of the room. Okay. So can I?
Ms. Milstein, I'm going to adjourn this meeting here. This is no longer productive.
They're in the back.
Madam City Attorney, Madam Clerk, we're adjourned at 7:41 p.m. Mr. Mayor, if you concur. I concur.
Sorry.